We joined the Bridgestone Formula Opel series in the second round on a very wet May weekend. Michael Edgar had won the first round, but Jason Pollock was determined to avenge his last-minute defeat in the 1995 series by Donald Lochry. Donald sadly would sit out this season after his bad accident in France while representing Ireland in the Nations Cup. Young Derek Cunneely mastered the wet conditions and took pole position.
And they're away, and Jason's made a fantastic start.
Jason was beautiful there, but unfortunately, young Cunneely stuttered, and coming down the inside is Michael Connor, number 6 of the Castrol car there, but it's Michael Edgar in the black car in the middle. He gets through into second place. Connor is in a bit of trouble there, somebody just kissing the grass on the outside. Connor's going round right in the middle of the pack. 18's always also involved. That's Noel Dunn. They're tangled up in each other, but the leaders are well away.
Experience told as the laps unfolded, with Pollock in the lead and Cunneely running wide here at Coca-Cola, giving Edgar a comfortable second place. But you can never be comfortable in these conditions. Michael was the next to take a trip onto the greenery.
We're on the last lap, and out into the country again goes Jason Pollock, Michael Edgar behind him, and then Derek Cunneely. It's anybody's race.
Very much so. I don't understand why Jason left it just so tight there going on to the last lap. He didn't have to do that. Michael, very experienced, but at the same time, even at this stage of the race, Michael could take a lunge at Jason. Anything could happen, and Derek could have the race.
Derek is desperately looking for that little position. He's been following the back of this black Michael Edgar car for the entire race. He's only got 2 corners to do it in now. Jason, I think, has enough of a cushion there to take victory still, but he had us all with our heart in our mouths. He again takes the wide line, gets a little kick as he goes sideways as he comes out there, but it's looking good for him.
It's looking good, yeah. You could see him getting a little bit sideways. That's the first time I've seen it all afternoon. Obviously he eased off maybe just a little bit more than what he should have. He knows that now, but he's controlled. I think he's got the race, and it's a very, very controlled, good win for Jason. Michael second, Derek third.
With Vivian Daly in 4th place and young Adrian Pollock in 5th. Michael and Jason were equal at the top of the championship table, with Derek Cunneely staying in touch. Back at Mondello a month later, and Jason Pollock was now very much the man on top. Michael Edgar knew all about the Bridgestone Championship. He had won it twice before. And then there were the newer names, Mark O'Connor from Nace in the Cliff Dempsey-run Castrol car, and Derek Cunneely in the Kenton Motorsport MIM hydraulics car. It was a battle of the titans for the first corner. Edgar getting the drop on Pollock and forcing Pollock into a classic mistake in the first corner. From pole to 6th in one corner, Michael Edgar must have had a secret smirk, but Jason was determined to wipe that smile right off the Belfast boy's face. Cunneely was 2nd, O'Brien 3rd, Adrian Pollock 4th, and Mark O'Connor 5th. Then Jason's luck changed at Coca-Cola. Thank you very much, Mr. O'Brien. Derek Cunneely was next on the shopping list. And when you're this fired up, little miracles can happen. Round the outside of Coca-Cola, you rarely see that. But Michael Edgar was going to be a much harder nut to crack. For lap after lap, the Carrickfergus driver harried the black Edgar shop-fitting car.
And Jason's down the outside again, Plum. Yes, certainly out on the outside there. Jason's running the risk with the slicks. He's right round, and exactly the same manoeuvre. Fantastic driving from both these drivers, wheel to wheel.
And a little bit neater that time, but Jason's really lining himself up for an attack down into Bridgestone now. And he's good. There's a gap down the inside. He goes for it. They're interlocking wheels. A very dangerous situation.
Plum, the experience of these two drivers paid off there. They both rounded the corner together, out equal, and Michael's held the inside line for the next corner. And Jason's still attacking.
But did you notice the front wing on Jason? The Pollock Lift's car is damaged, the inside front wing, or the outside front wing, I should say, and that could affect things. But he's still very much on the attack, up into Dunlop, very late on the braking. You can see the damage clearly there now.
2 laps to go, Plum, and definitely that wing will affect Jason. It could affect him a little bit under braking, and certainly on the turn into the corner, but he seems still to be attacking Michael.
Certainly he's going to his old trick down the outside. It hasn't worked. He's off. He's on the grass for the 2nd time in this race. Jason Pollock will now have to settle for 2nd.
And that's exactly what he did. Michael got his second win of the season and went ahead in the Formula Opel series by 5 points. Then came the bombshell. The scrutineers found a technical infringement in Jason Pollock's engine. His points were suspended. So out went Pollock, and in came Wayne Douglas, back disappointingly to Ireland due to a lack of sponsorship, having won the British Formula Vauxhall B Series in 1995. Wayne immediately stamped his class on the field in the Cliff Dempsey Castrol car, winning the July Mondello meeting and putting his car on pole position for the high-profile Phoenix Park event. O'Connor and Cunneely tailed the Ashbourne driver into the first corner, with Vivian Daly, always one to watch out for in the park, moving up a spot as they exited the corner. But championship leader Michael Edgar was in trouble. He was back amongst the dogs, as the midfielders are sometimes referred to, and Derek Cunneely had also slipped into their ranks. Adrian Pollock, however, was in more serious problems. Daly biffed wheels with O'Connor to take second place, and Cunneely and Kirkman self-destructed to let Edgar up another place. But brakes are critical in this triangular course, and Michael Edgar was running out of them. Eventually, however, he got the better of the younger driver and managed to retrieve some points with a good third place. Douglas had now won 2 races on the trot, and Vivian Daly again starred in the park. After 7 rounds of the Formula Opel Championship, Michael had a 16-point lead, but drop scores would now come into play, and for round 8 he was back in home territory at Kirkistown in the north of Ireland. The old airfield circuit is the fastest permanent track in Ireland, but Michael was not in pole position. However, he has always had a good record at the County Down circuit.
Kirkistown's been very good to me in the past in this class, so I'm very pleased.
He would not be pleased in a few minutes' time.
And off they go. 18 laps lie ahead, and it looks like Douglas has the start. Douglas down the middle of the track should come out in front as they head down towards Colonial for the first time.
I see Cunneely, he's up the inside, locks the tyres up, but gets the inside line. So it looks like Douglas in second, Cunneely's in the lead.
So Cunneely left it very, very late on the braking, now into this tricky double apex right-hander. There's an incident there, a big incident. It looks like Edgar's out, Daly's out, and somebody in the middle there, that could be Adrian Pollock, number 15.
But who is to blame? Collier shunted Edgar into a chain reaction, which took out Adrian Pollock, who was again hit by Edgar, with Vivian Daly finally wrecking the championship leader's day. The Bridgestone series had been turned on its head, and now the door had suddenly opened for Derek Cunneely, provided that he could maximise on his great opportunity. Wayne Douglas could have spoilt the Lucan driver's northern party, but the Castrol car was short of fresh rubber. To keep costs in check, only a limited amount of tyres are allowed, and Wayne had used up all his good ones. Derek held on to lead into the Colonial section. The MIM hydraulics driver now was right in the hunt. And he drove beautifully to reduce his points deficit from 16 to 6 in just one afternoon. Round 9, the Leinster Motor Club's meeting at Mondello. Douglas was on pole, but then came the 2 championship contenders, with Edgar having the advantage of the front row position. Derek tried a mad move from the second row, but as you saw, ran out of road and lost a few places as a result. Ken Grandin in the DHL car was proving to be quite an obstacle. And for lap after lap, the excited Lucan driver tried to get round him. But Douglas had not given Edgar his perfect day, and the championship outcome would, as it had in the previous year, go right to the final round. Michael had a bet that he would not cut his hair till he won the series, And this was the young man who was determined to ensure that his northern rival would not become a Cantona lookalike in 1996. And so they left for the final shootout over 22 laps of Mondello Park, with two fathers just as worried as their sons about the final outcome. Tommy, it's a real sort of father and son battle for the championship this year.
It is indeed, yeah. We're looking forward to this one out today. Hopefully everything will be a nice clean race between Michael, Edgar and Derek. We'll make the best man win.
Brian, pension time again, championship time.
Well, nothing ever changes. It's been like this for the last 3 or 4 years with Mike. So let's hope he can do the business and make it 3 out of 5 years.
Michael was working according to plan and sitting in the top spot for most of the qualifying session. Derek, on the other hand, was leaving things breathtakingly late. He wasn't even in the front 2 rows with minutes to go. Then...
And it's changed again. Derek Cunneely's just done it. 23.74 is in pole. Derek Cunneely has taken pole.
Not only that, but Michael Edgar had been usurped from the second row. Cunneely in the yellow car did it all right, and Edgar in the black car all wrong. There's Michael Edgar, number 20, and he's right back in 4th position, just exactly where he didn't want to be. But Wayne Douglas was once again the wild card in the pack.
So Wayne Douglas is taking himself out of this equation, and maybe that's just as well, because now we have the 2 championship contenders and Edgar going for it. They touch there, they interlocked wheels. Now, can Michael Edgar have enough momentum to get in front?
Michael, I can see him, he's still in 3rd and he's really challenging Derek. I think Derek's making a few wee mistakes here in that he's not pushing on hard enough. He's trying to conserve himself, not make any mistakes. And obviously Michael's pumped up and he's pushing and he's going to be attacking all the way here, Plum.
It's young Adrian Pollock in 4th place, but we're looking at the 2nd place battle, the battle for the championship. And once again, he tries to exit the corner very quick, get a good line out of it, get the speed down the straight, but Cunneely's blocked his move again, quite legitimately.
Yeah, there's nothing unfair about what Derek's doing. Only thing is, it's slowing him down, and you see the cars behind, all grouping up behind. And Michael's all over Derek. I think he's touched again there. That's the 2nd time in the first lap. Really, I think Derek, the best thing he can do is relax now and push on.
And they're absolutely side by side again. There may have been contact again that time. So, back to the championship battle. Derek Cunneely peeling off the laps now, a little bit more relaxed, and a car length now to play with, at least as long as he's had, but he didn't have it for long. Contact again, terribly side. It was amazing the way he held it. They touched again that time, and I think we're going to see it here from a different angle.
Yeah, fantastic racing this, isn't it? I think Derek left the door a little bit open there. He started to relax, and Michael straight up the inside. I think that's the 4th time they've made contact in this race, but the 2 of them are still there, they're still racing, and at the end of the day, that's just racing.
Now the time is really running out. Michael Edgar getting a little bit desperate, trying one side of the track and then the other. Up they come, up towards Dunlop for the last time. And Michael Edgar must try a dive down the inside. Surely Derek will protect it. That's exactly what he's done. Can Michael Edgar take a late line and get a better slingshot out of the corner? The checkered flag is waiting. The team are overjoyed. Derek Cunneely's won the championship. Wayne Douglas has won the race. Michael Edgar is tasting the despair of motor racing. Congratulations, new champion. How does it sound?
Oh, I can't believe it. I'm just glad that race is over. I've never been so much under pressure in all my life. Michael pushed very hard but very fair. Like, there was a bit of damage to the car where we had a few comings together, but 10 out of 10. Like, Michael tried his best. He was a little bit rough, but I couldn't fault his driving at all. He wanted to win a championship as much as I did. So I'd just like to congratulate Michael as well. I think he done a fantastic job during the year, and it just came down to the wire, and unfortunately it just turned out well for me. So I'd like to congratulate Michael again.
So that was 1996, and this week DHL Worldwide Express have joined forces with Opel to announce the biggest financial package ever in the series. £30,000 will be distributed to the drivers in prize money, rookie awards and a special merit award. Roll on the new season.